Hey, welcome back to another Proven Sales Letter Breakdown video. This is the 97th edition, actually, and the big news, I got married yesterday, actually 2 days ago. This is Sunday, so I normally make my videos from Monday to Saturday, then I have Sundays off, but if you've been following along, you might have noticed that Saturday there was no video, so I switched Sundays with Saturdays. But for today, I wanted to take a look at a pretty new offer. It's called Nerd Fitness, and it's actually a call funnel. So basically the aim of this sales page is to get people to apply for a free consultation so that somebody can sell them coaching services, ongoing coaching services, right? And in order to do that, we have a front-end sales page here, which in terms of copywriting isn't necessarily the super highest level A class, the things that we've looked at on this channel before. But I really like it because it's a great example of connecting with your specific target audience using words and expressions and nuances that they also use, and really understanding their pains, fears, hopes, and dreams. And if you can do that, if you can understand your audience and you have a solid offer and you can communicate your message properly to that specific audience using their language and appealing to their emotions and pains, fears, hopes, and dreams, then you can make a crushing with it. And this company, I think they do around $5 to $6 million a year or something. So not the biggest behemoth out there, but it's not too shabby either, right? It's a pretty good revenue. And they use, actually, I checked out their website. I haven't really seen that many offers from them, but this I think is one of their foundational offers. And when I saw it, I immediately wanted to break it down because of they're using memes as well. So this is aimed more like a Gen Z type of audience. And as the name applies, nerd fitness, right? And in the copy, we can discover many different things that all relate to this nerdy aspect to it, right? So let's just break it down and let's see what's happening here. It's not that long. It's 19 pages, but it's made up mostly of there's text as well, but there's a lot of graphical elements. So first of all, we have a brand logo up front. So we know immediately that this is coaching. So this is for audiences which aren't really that super cold, right? They know the brand a little bit. They know they've probably been consuming content from this brand before. They're probably on their email list, or they've seen some of their videos on maybe YouTube or read a few blog posts or something like that. So they immediately know what's up if they land on this page. And I actually got to this page from the home page itself. So it's kind of like an offer open to anybody. And then the headline says, build a plan for lasting change specifically designed with you in mind. So again, this isn't like an earth-shattering type of headline, like something like Clayton Makepeace would come up with, or Gary Halbert would come up with, or maybe even like I don't know, David Deutsch would come up with, but it works, right? First of all, it's probably, I get the feeling that the copywriter who wrote this, I don't know exactly who wrote it, but they did a lot of research, and this had several iterations, this sales page, right? Because it's just, I have a nerdy side, for example, and I've been in the situation where I was a skinny nerd. And many things that I read here definitely connected with me as well. And I've also read plenty of sales pages for those bodybuilder type of audiences, right? It's like crush it, just pump the iron and stuff like that. It's much more aggressive. This one, it's funnier. It has some jokes in it, right? It has some cultural references to like Star Wars and some stuff like that. So it's there for the nerdy audience. And that's more important in the grand scheme of things than, I don't know, using a very sophisticated type of copywriting formula or something. So always keep this in mind when you're writing copy for yourself, for your client, for your business, anything. It's very important. But the thing I like in the headline is that, first of all, we have the build, which assumes that this involves the reader as well. And, nerdy people, they're not really that stupid, right? First of all, most target audiences aren't stupid. David Ogilvy even said that your ideal prospect isn't stupid. She's your wife. As if you really should take them seriously. And people in this audience, and especially in weight loss and fitness, they've seen it all, heard it all. There are so many scammy offers targeting all sorts of people, and they want real stuff. They want honest stuff. And I think that this page does a great job at honesty. So it doesn't come across, the honesty doesn't come across yet, but it will many times. I will show you. So build a plan for lasting change. Again, lasting change, I think this is an objection handling element, because many times, people start dieting or start to lose weight or build up muscle or something, but they just fall off the wagon. And specifically designed with you in mind. So this type of customizability, I reckon it's an important benefit for this target audience, designed with you in mind. So that I guess, Nerd Fitness that did a lot of surveying their audience, and they found out that custom plans or something is something that's important for them, right? I, on myself, wouldn't have used something like this in the headline. But again, think about it. If you use something like, hey, here's how to lose, or like, finally, I don't know, groundbreaking secret revealed, how to lose 68 pounds in 27 days using my secret fat burner formula that comes from the Amazonian jungle, or something like that. Something like, so many copywriters use these overhypey headlines, which kind of come from they kind of try to model or copy other copywriting promotions. Like, we've seen many of these from Eugene Schwartz, for example. And Eugene Schwartz invented the whole craft of copywriting, like parts of it at least. And he got away with these types of headlines because back then the market sophistication wasn't that high. And market sophistication just means that how many offers the specific market has already seen. And in this case, in our case, they've seen a lot of offers. So before actually the sales page even starts, we have a little quiz here. So take the quiz. I checked this out. It's a pretty cool quiz. It has, again, some humor elements in it. It has a lot of customizability. But the question says, which Nerd Fitness coach is right for you? So this kind of adds extra relevance for the reader. And I think this increases trust a lot. And many people will feel like, yes, this will work for me. Because this type of audience, they're kind of, I wouldn't say, let's just say weirdos in a good sense, right? They're special, they're unique, they know this about themselves, that they are kind of like maybe black sheep in the family, or most people don't really understand them. They're the stuff that, gets them excited. Let's just say they're manga readers, or they love to watch anime or something like that. Probably their parents or people in their family don't even know what a manga or anime is. And somewhere here I saw a reference to like, hey, this whole thing is for rebels. Like, this is for unique people. And I think this is important to emphasize, because for this audience, feeling understood is an important thing. And we also have a little video here, introducing Nerd Fitness coaching. So it's kind of like, it doesn't seem that staged or something like that. Obviously, it uses a script and it's a sales video, but it doesn't seem over the top or something. It seems raw and honest, and that's the name of the game here, honesty. It converts. So after these little elements, we get to the sales page itself, and we immediately start with the problem. The process of getting healthy has a bad rep because we listen to all the experts, and they always say that, you should do this and that and that. So you should live like this perfect life, and then you will lose weight. So these, coincidentally, are probably common frustrations, especially for our target audience, because they don't want to get rid of all the stuff that's fun in life, right? They don't necessarily want to work out 1 hour a day. They don't want to crush it in the gym. They don't want to pump iron. They don't want to eat chicken and broccoli for every meal. They want to, I don't know, still have fun in life. They don't want like this half-god body or something, like a Spartan or something like that. They just want to look good, right? And they are probably on average more introverted. So again, it's important to emphasize that they're gonna have a lot of support, and it's not going to be over the top, and their bullshit detectors are pretty high. Okay. Because, for example, if you made big promises like, hey, you could add an extra 30 pounds of muscle in, I don't know, 2 months, then meathead type of people, they would be all over it. But this audience, not that much. Not at all, in fact. So in this section, we just describe the problem. We describe a few common frustrations like, hey, life gets in the way. So it's very hard to do this non-stop, all these things, because life gets in the way. And everyone just says that, you should just do it. But in the world of coronavirus and everything, when this is a new normal, it's not that easy. It's piece of cake, here. It's kind of ironic a little bit. Again, I think this audience appreciates the irony here. There's also a GIF here, which, remember, the target audience and the brand, it's called Nerd Fitness. So they can get away with using these types of humor. Like, we haven't seen these before in traditional health promos of magalogs that we've seen before breaking down stuff from Paris Lampropoulos, Kim Krasny-Schwan, Carlene Anglicole. We haven't seen these humor elements. Why? Because that target audience is different. They're older, they're like more strict type of people. And then, we just, like, the copy itself does a great job at connecting with people. And then it sets up the problem here. And the problem, like, apart from, like, the process of getting healthy has a bad rap, comes across through the lens of a case study as well. Not necessarily a case study, but like a quote from a customer that adds relatability to the whole thing. Because this customer says that, I'll miss a workout, then it could become a week or more. I always end up slipping into old patterns when something happens beyond my control. I keep hitting walls, but can't ignore this anymore. If things aren't perfect, I tend to say, forget it. So, probably it seems like this audience, but again, you can only discover this from research. But that's why I emphasize this so much, because research is the secret weapon of great copywriters. That and great fascination writing and rewriting many things. But research is super important here. And like, a regular copywriter would never be able to come up with something like this. This came from research right off the bat, and I don't know exactly why they chose this perfectionism type of main problem here, but probably the research showed that this is important for the audience, right? But on myself, without any research, if I were to write something for this specific target audience, I would never have thought about this. But that's why research is important. So then we get introduced to the unique mechanism of the problem, and it's this. It's, perfect, it's fine, but it has to be perfect to you. It has to be custom tailored to you. And then we go back to the headline itself that says, design with you in mind. So the whole messaging here revolves around, creating something that's good for you, because otherwise it might be this great program that Arnold Schwarzenegger used or something, but it's not relevant for you because you don't want to stop living a fun life. You don't want to become this workout automaton or robot or something like that. You just want to lose weight relatively easily and with a lot of support. And all this copy, super relatable. Like, check this out, Perfect for you takes your life into account, your goals, both in health and fitness. I want to lose 20 pounds, and the way you like to enjoy life. I want to eat the same meal as my family each night. It's also flexible in a way that allows you to continue to make progress even when the inevitable stresses and surprises pop up. So we can listen to the experts and try to do their version of getting healthy, probably fail after 2 days like we've done before, and then give in to the idea that getting healthy just isn't possible for you right now. You'll try again later when life settles down. But here's the thing, life never settles down. Because it even says like, or we can shift the way we think. We can be honest that life isn't going to settle down. So this is kind of like, we are starting to get into the unique mechanism of the solution, which is like the only way to actually lose weight is, and not fall into the same trap that you've fallen into before many times over, is to do a perfect for you type of thing and try to get healthier more like through a dial and not a switch. So it's not like you push the button and then eventually you become healthy, but you take small steps, small incremental steps. But in order to get there, you need a lot of support, and you need a customizable plan that works for you so that it doesn't become a chore that you're going to hate and then you're going to quit eventually. That's the whole big idea here. And I think it works well because many people, they take this whole weight loss and fitness and healthy living thing like a zero-sum, like a 1 or 0 type of game. In which, yes, either I do everything that I must do or that I have to do, and then I'm gonna lose a lot of pounds, gain some muscle, but I'm gonna hate the whole journey. And of course, there are some people who get addicted to exercise itself. There's a thing like exercise addiction, but in most cases, either like they're not gonna lose weight at all, or if they lose it, they're gonna gain it back because they're gonna be like, oh, okay, now I accomplished my goal. Now I can get back to eating all that junky stuff here. So, and then we tease the solution again, which coincides with the unique mechanism of the solution. It's like, hey, in most cases, doing this is kind of like a superpower, but we want to help you. And then, boom, you have Yoda reference here, a humor element plus a segue into the offer itself. And then after a relatively brief, there wasn't even a lead for this sales page like we've seen before in traditional sales pages. I think it could have made it more powerful to include a lead and then include some personal story as well from this guy, the founder of Nerd Fitness. But then eventually, pretty quickly, we get introduced to the product itself. Now, if you've been following my videos, you probably mentioned that usually when the product is introduced, we're already at least like at the halfway mark of the sales letter itself. So there's a lot of storytelling before, a lot of building rapport with the audience. And that's because they are colder audiences in most cases. This one, I think these audiences are probably a little bit warmer, but still, I would definitely split test the version of the sales page which has a more emotional type of beginning, because I'm not really feeling the pain that much. So we have an introduction to the pain itself, but it's so logical. It's like, hey, this is the logic behind the pain and the problem. But people don't really feel it. It's not punch in the gut type of pain. And we've seen, for example, in Chris Haddad's VSLs, I've broken down one of his VSLs. Check out the video. I'm gonna leave a link to the entire Proven Sales Letter Breakdown playlist. And somewhere around the 60th video mark or something like there was a Chris Haddad piece, two-part video, actually, make her want you or something like that. But go watch that and notice what a real punch in the gut story looks like, and that really makes people want to get the product because they're like, damn, I really have to do something. Because in most cases, conversions only happen when there's a trigger for it. There has to be some type of big pain or situation or something. Otherwise, people are just going to postpone the whole thing. They're gonna be like, yeah, I should join a gym. I should lose weight. I should join this coaching program, but I'm gonna do it later because I don't know. I'm just gonna try it myself or something like that. But it's not gonna work. So I think this sales page could do better if it agitated the pains a little bit more, connected on that part a little bit more, and only then introduced the product. But we have the product. Oh, and by the way, I don't have data at all when it comes to this sales page. So maybe it converts like gangbusters and it's not needed. I don't know. Who am I to tell, right? It's very, very, very hard to precisely judge a conversion rate of a sales page, regardless of how good it looks or bad it looks, because it depends on the offer, the target audience, the list quality, the traffic quality that comes here, the message market matching, the market sophistication, the market stage of awareness, so many other things. It depends on so many things. Obviously, if it was terrible copy, it would be easy to spot a bottleneck there, but maybe this target audience, they doesn't really care that much about punch in the gut stories, right? Maybe they don't, and that's why it's not here. But maybe something like that, this could be checked. or try it out. So we introduce the product itself. What is it? So we basically get a reason why behind the product itself. We got a little intro of what this does. So it basically helps you navigate the often overwhelming world of health and fitness. It gives you expert advice and the whole plan and everything. And, you know, it's going to help you with your fitness, your nutrition, and your mindset. And we're going to do it together. You as the customer and us as the coach. So there's also a little detail here that this is a holistic solution. So it's like, I like this because it kind of teases the aspect of reframing false beliefs. And as I said, I think this target audience is more intelligent, or like more, they don't tolerate bullshit that much. And they're not necessarily more intelligent, but they don't tolerate bullshit that much. And they don't really have super strong worldviews yet. Maybe they're open to many, many new things, but they know that, you know, incremental habit changes could be the key to actually losing weight and keeping it down for good. It's not enough to just eat better. It's you have to form a habit around it. So we have some future pacing here. When you become a client, you will gain access to the Nerd Fitness coaching app. Here we have a little USB, and then we have some features with some showcases. You see everything really looks like the font itself, the design. Notice how consistent it is with the target audience. And this is intentional, and this is important because it looks cool, right? It doesn't look like a corporate type of thing like Body Time or something like that. It looks cool. I mean, I want to check it out. And then we have a few key features along with a few benefits highlighted here. So one of them, the first one, is that it's done for you. You know exactly what to do each day. You just check off the boxes so that, you know, there's no question what you should do. There's a lot of support for you, but you can communicate with your coach on your schedule. So you also get to retain control. You know, it's pretty cool. You can measure your stuff. Again, maybe a lot of people in the target audience, they like to measure stuff more. They have some OCD tendencies maybe. But even if they don't, it's important to get, you know, what gets measured gets managed. There's a saying in management, and it's true. Also, you know, this target audience, they're really not meatheads or something. They're probably, they might have not even tried these types of fitness things before. So there's a bunch of videos there for them. And it's like, hey, perform exercises safely to mitigate injuries. Because probably the research showed that this target audience, they're afraid of injuries. Like, this could even work for a bodybuilder type of audience here, because they also want to avoid injuries, but out of different motivations. The bodybuilder types want to avoid injuries because if they get injured, they can't get, you know, they get like a huge setback and they can't build the biceps that they want. But this audience, they want to avoid injuries because they have lives there and they're probably more anxious about injuries themselves. Again, more features here highlighted. Also, the accountability aspect, it's very important. Like I've worked on a sales page for Improvement Pill, a big YouTuber. It's called Habit Builder Challenge. And, you know, there also accountability was a major thing there. Like people, especially when they want to build new habits, accountability is very important to highlight for them. Then we have a little explanation of how everything works here with very relatable copy. Again, it's friendly, it's honest, it makes sense, and it's, you know, it qualifies people in a fun way. You know, there's a little Mandalorian reference here. This is the way, and the little segue here to the picture says, whether you want to build a plan for strength, weight loss, or just want to have more energy for daily life, we got you, and we'll show you the way. So again, little thing here that connects with the audience. Also more benefits for nerds. And then we have a few case studies, like mini stories of case studies. And notice again the brand voice, how consistent it is. It looks like a comic book. It even says Jimmy was a packy eater who wanted to look like Spider-Man. So, you know, these people, they have their own quirks and they don't want to sacrifice everything to build a huge body, but they still want to like get girls or look good on the beach or something like that. And you know, it's a great thing to highlight how, you know, this guy, Jimmy, managed to get a six-pack by eating how he wanted to eat. Why? Because our coaches helped them build a unique, customized, done-for-you plan, and he just followed it. So wow, this is very powerful from a copywriting perspective and from a marketing perspective as well. This connects with the target audience really well. Then we have another type of person, Emily. She was a beast, and look at her now. Again, very specific and real case studies. This is like it doesn't trigger people's bullshit detectors. And it qualifies another type of audience. This is for nerdy guys. This is for overweight women. This is for moms. She was a mom with a full-time job who struggled to stick to a plan. Like, how many people in the target audience are like this girl who like, shit, life gets in the way. I'm not that nerdy, but I cannot do all those things that those regular fitness nuts are demanding of me. I just cannot do it. So I would just rather, I don't know, eat a hamburger. But no. With our method, she succeeded. And then we have some more connection with people, how it works. We have more features. I would have liked to see more benefits here and benefits of benefits. Also some paint the dream, like, hey, how your life looks like when your life is holistically healthier and you have a great body and everyone's asking you questions like, hey, like we met 1 year ago before the pandemic and what happened to you? Like, you look like a different person. You dropped, I don't know, 40 pounds or something, and wow, you look amazing. Just tell me your secret or something. Or like how their social status elevates because of this, how they are going to become more popular at school or something, how they are not going to be like the kid who's going to be bullied at school, or how, other moms are going to envy this mom like Emily or something, how much better she looks, all this stuff. I think it could have made the sales page even more powerful. I don't know, maybe they didn't want to invest so much energy into it when it gets people on the call itself. But I think pre-selling these ideas earlier could be a good idea, because then the person who's on the call itself is going to have an easier job selling people, because people come to the call already with a lot of desire. So I don't really feel that much emotion in the sales page. It's more logical. So hope this makes sense. Leave a comment below if it makes sense for you, or if you also feel this. It does a great job connecting with the audience, but it's always telling stuff like, hey, what's gonna happen, and it doesn't take enough time to build up the emotional pains and the emotional releases. And we need those emotions to get motivated enough. So this is, everything makes sense. And when it's the right time, I'm sure this is a killer offer, and I'm sure that they get tons of customers. But I feel like maybe they could get more customers if they included more of these stories. But maybe they do that in an email strategy, right? Again, who am I to know? I don't have access to their entire funnel, and it would be stupid to make all these big predictions on their bottom line based on something that's theoretically missing here. Maybe they have an upsell strategy that, I don't know, pitches them something else that sells them the dream even more. Or maybe, I don't know, it's on the order form, or maybe they've been pre-sold on these things from emails before. I don't know. Maybe they do this emotional agitation or something through Facebook ads. When they visit this page, they get retargeted. Actually, I'm going to check it out because I visited the page, so we'll see whether I'll get retargeted or not. But anyway, here are a few features that people are going to experience. Some qualification elements and expectation elements here. And then we have the FAQ, very important. It increases conversions by like 20%. And some more objection handling elements, because remember, a sales letter or sales page, it's basically just a salesman, like a one-on-one sales conversation in the multiplied form. Gary Bencivenga always said that, this is salesmanship multiplied, actually, and I've seen so many of these objection handling elements, stuff like in this case, it's like, people might feel like this is a big commitment, but what we say, yes, it's a commitment, and we don't take that lightly. So we're gonna honor your money. We're gonna honor you. Then this part, it creates like a price anchor, a very basic type of price anchor, how, other type of in-person trainers charge a lot, but we only charge like $197 a month. And there's no contract to sign, so this is also an objection handling element. Because remember, this audience, they don't really like to get tied down so much. They're much more agile in this regard compared to like older audiences that we've seen with all those magalogs, all those classical type of Clayton Makepeace style, sales letters or something like that. Does that mean that that doesn't work? Not at all. Those types of things still work really, really well, and these all work really well, but it depends on the market to message matching. So that's why, copywriting is not easy. Great copywriting, and it's you got to test stuff, and you really have to know your audience. That's what it comes down to all the time. Research it, and forget about all these flashy copywriting formulas, because on their own they don't mean much. So then, was it worth it, or is it worth it? It's also an objection handling element here. Basically, the copy says, I don't know, you decide, check out our testimonials. And then we see a bunch of Facebook style testimonials, so screenshots of comments. So that's pretty cool. Again, this connects with the target audience more than just straight up, post, like inserted, copy-pasted type testimonials, because this seems more real to them. This seems more real. And then finally, we get to the end of the sales letter. I like how it's no pressure selling at all. I think the closing section is a little bit rushed here. There's no urgency. There's no reiterating the benefits here. There's no bonus or something that people get. Maybe they could say that, you get a free, I don't know, analysis of your previous weight loss attempts or something like that. I don't know. Maybe you get like a free checklist or PDF. Even if you don't become a client, you still get away with something. So I think something like that could, again, increase conversions more. But the copy basically says, we'd love to talk to you more about your own personal goals one-on-one to see if we may be a great fit for another. So not aggressive at all. You dear reader, has the control. We have the control. We just want to see whether there's a fit. So if you're ready to make a meaningful change, your next step is easy. Again, easy. People want easy. They know that they have to work for it, but the process itself, or like the frictions that you can reduce between you and the customer, you should do a great job at reducing those frictions, because the more of those you reduce or eliminate, the more you're going to convert. So then it says, book a call below with one of our team members to talk through any additional questions or concerns you may have. Again, everything is focused here on the target audience. It's not a company-centric thing. It's on the target audience, which again builds trust. And if you're ready to change your life, we'd be honored to welcome you in the Nerd Fitness community coaching family. Talk soon. So coaching family, again, it highlights the aspects of community. There's an open loop here. Talk soon. It's like, so this presupposes a little bit that you're going to book a call. And then we have this little box here, which is highly visible. Schedule a consultation, straight up call to a very helpful and cheerful little thing here. I don't like submit. This button could be improved. Something like, yes, I want to start my fitness journey, or something, that relates to the headline here. Build a plan for lasting change. Yes, I want lasting change, or let's get started, or something like that. But submit is too generic. But I like these little next steps below, because it says, after you submit your info above, you'll pick your preferred time for us to call you. We'll also follow up with an email. So, it just lowers friction. It lowers anxiety, because people might feel like, oh my God, what happens if I click this? But we get some next steps. And there's also humor here. It says, we don't share your information with anybody, especially not with Death Eaters, Hydra, or Sauron. So boom, you just qualified 3 different major audiences, right? Harry Potter fans, Marvel fans, and Lord of the Ring fans. Pretty big, pretty cool. So yeah, that's it for this one. Leave a comment below if you liked my my analysis and the extra tips that I suggested here, whether you agree with them or you don't agree with them. Again, I don't see the KPIs for this sales page. In general, I definitely liked it, and I especially the copy was great. The message matching was great. All the little voice of customer data that they use was great. But I feel like some elements were missing from like this, because we've seen how the most persuasive sales messages look like, and they always have a few elements there. And this one missed a few elements, but it's still a pretty great sales page. And I'm sure that it converts really well. But I'm also sure that the brand aspect is also important for this as well. So if there are nerds, obviously they're going to choose Nerd Fitness instead of like Get Shredded in 60 days fitness, because it just connects with them. So there's the brand itself is doing a lot of lifting, not just the sales page itself. So yeah, that's it for this one. If you enjoyed this, smash the like button right now, subscribe to the channel, because there's plenty of great videos here that you can watch just like this, and also share the video with others if you enjoyed it, if you got value from it, and if you think that they could also get value from it. So thanks again, see you tomorrow.